Need something? Okay, Dominic's prints were on the Cobra photo taken a couple of days ago. So this guy bought his exotic snake illegally from our victim only yesterday? And now he's lying about not being in contact with him lately? A guy who pays 15 grand for a killer snake sounds either stupid or smart in a very suspicious way. Let's talk to him.
What lie? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Mr. Ziegler, we know Dominic sold you the Cobra. We can prove it. We also know you've been in contact with him, recently. So let's cut the clown act and go right to the center ring.
Okay, so he sold me the Cobra, so what? I figured he was a good contact, could help me out with my animal supplies. He used to be an animal trainer at the Monaco Casino a while ago, so he's got the connections. I had no idea anything illegal was going down. We've been over this. Ernie never even filed his last few incident reports. I figure he took off early, lazy creep. Wouldn't have been the first time. Get what you pay for. Listen, I'll level with you. Petrenko is a lowlife, peddling exotic animals on the black market. You blame me for not owning up to that? In my business, it looks bad. Buy from a guy like that just once, then he blackmails your ass there on out. If that toe is all that's left of him, don't expect me to bust out crying.
Why didn't you report his extortion?
I realize you may have formed an opinion of me as a low-type person. But I run a family show, schools, church groups. Last thing I need is the media saying I deal in black market animals, even if I do, you know? Perceptions, everything. I already told you I wouldn't lose sleep over him being dead, but I'm no killer. I mean, why would I, anyway?
For stealing and killing your Komodo dragon.
My Komodo is dead? What son of a...
We're gonna cut the clown act, remember? Dominic was extorting you, and you cut him off, so no love was lost. He tried to get even by killing the dragon, but you caught him in the act. You crept up on him, in the pen, knocking him out, and served him up cold to your star, saving a little on supplies.
What kind of sick... No, I didn't do anything like that.
Tell us about Ernie Roundtree, the security man you hired. His role is unclear. Did you send him home early to prevent his being a witness? Or is Ernie an accomplice?
No, you got it all wrong. Way wrong.
Detective Jim Brass, please report to reception. Detective Jim Brass to reception.
Back in a minute.
Remains? Okay, now you're starting to creep me out. Who says I did? I thought you were evidence guys. This is all some sick fantasy.
With both the dragon and a man dead, you needed to point suspicion elsewhere. So you hid the body and planted the dead dragon back at Petrenko's.
No. This is wrong. It's all wrong.
Look, Mr. Ziegler, we have a lot of evidence that...
Gil, show Mr. Ziegler to the waiting room, then meet me in my office.
Please come with me.
Well, a key piece of evidence just walked through the door, and I know how you love evidence. I stowed him in the interrogation room. Sure. I hope you're ready for this.
Dominic Petrenko. For me, you have been looking. Enjoying my life. But in 1 week, who can say?
I'll tell you what, Mr. Petrenko, you keep your answers simple and direct, and we'll do the same with our questions.
No, not Arnold, no. But he may want to strike me at this time.
Why is that?
I kill his Komodo dragon. But it's only fair, right? Because it killed me too.
We're not following you, Mr. Petrenko.
I sell many reptiles in past for his show. Always under table. I knew he was coming to town this month, so I planned my stealing. Last night, I go to his show to see if I could steal one of his more valuable animals. But something was wrong. The dragon, it was hiding in corner. When I moved closer, it jumped out and attacked me. Not at first. He'd take me down, but I wrestle him. Stay away from teeth. But he take bite from me. But he is soon, how to say, tired. Sick. The sea dragon had the injury on his head. It died shortly after.
And it bit your toe off?
You may see what is left of foot. Had I not take off my runner shoes, I would not be waiting to die.
In such a dangerous environment, why would you do such a thing?
I pass storage area on the coming in. Cage of white rats, I see. Rats they use for feeding dragon.
Ah, and you didn't want your white shoes mistaken for lunch.
I outsmart myself. Try to protect feet, lose toe. But this is not the worst.
Staphylococcus. The Komodo carries over 50 varieties of bacteria in its saliva. Bits of meat stuck in its teeth create a breeding ground for it, including several highly septic strains.
Yes, and now I die for my sin. But I am prepared to die. I was a soldier once.
Let's not call the funeral home just yet, Mr. Petrenko. In the wild, Komodo saliva is poisonous enough to bring down a water buffalo, but in Vegas, septicemia is treatable.
What does this mean?
You're not going to die from this. You're looking at a short hospital stay, right before a much longer one in prison.
I am around dangerous animal many years. Never do I see such animal react in this wild way. Someone must have done terrible thing to dragon before I come.
We're not going to know the story here till we learn what happened in the last hours of the dragon's life.
No, I am lone wolf. I act alone.
That should do it for now.
Something you want? Necroscopy is hardly my area, but our forensic veterinarian is on vacation, and I know you're in a squeeze. See what I can do. The dragon sustained a massive blunt force trauma to the head. Keep in mind, this is my first Komodo autopsy, all right? Animal appeared in generally good health, no nutritional deficiencies or signs of prolonged stress. He'd had a meal recently. I think you should. Here's where the animal was struck. Concussive blow undoubtedly impaired primary brain functions.
This could have triggered the aggressive behavior our witness described. This must be our dragon's last supper.
Hey. Don't ask me to explain this. That's your job. But I made an interesting discovery. Blood from 2 humans.
Any specific tissue, Greg?
Nothing I could get a positive ID on. You can check the computer for graphs of both blood samples, though.
I'm not sure any of these match. This DNA matches the sample we recovered from the hair stuck in the driftwood. That would be a match. Angela Carson. But this is unusual. Her entry is blank, no details, just a name.
What's up? Shouldn't be a problem. Though I don't know why you're not getting... Oh, I see. Woman's logged under a fairly new program cataloging human tissue DNA from archived hospital specimens, which wouldn't have come up on your search. Should be a no-brainer. According to this, she's... What? We might have a computer glitch here. Says Angela Carson was killed in a car accident 17 years ago. How in the world could her DNA show up today in your dragon's belly? Let's go to the report. Attending physician, Dr. Julius Ravelli. Isn't that the doc your funeral director claimed seeing the night in question?
Afraid that's all I have for you. Angela Carson. You understand, I've treated many, many patients over the years. But I do believe, yes, she was an accident victim, automobile, quite some time ago. Sorry, I'm completely fuzzy over the details. I do recall she died at the hospital of massive head trauma. Why do you ask? I mean, after such a long time. Yes, all our older records are computerized now. Should be no problem. Let's see. Here's the Carson woman. Accident took place 17 years ago. Rushed from scene to Sundown Hospital. Died shortly thereafter. OP flag. Pretty standard.
OP flag, you said?
I did, yes. Again, quite standard.
Meaning she was an organ donor. OP, organ procurement.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's how, long after her death, Miss Carson's DNA turns up alongside someone else's DNA. The result of an organ transplant. Tissue in transplanted organs gradually gets replaced. But even after 17 years, there'd still be traces. Somehow, both these DNA strands wound up in the belly of a beast.
Sure, I'll check for you. Let's see. None listed. Of course, these older medical records aren't always as extensive as we'd like them to be.
That should do it for now.
What's up? Easy enough to check. Okay. You ready for this? She was married to one Victor Kaufman, our friendly neighborhood mortician. Miss Carson apparently kept her maiden name.
I don't really have anything else to say right now. She did. It was a terrible loss, and I feel the pain every day of my life. That's why I got into this noble profession. I understand loss. I know sorrow. I live with mine every day, and it allows me to deal with those who are confronted with theirs. What a stunning coincidence. I never knew who attended her. I was not in town when the tragedy occurred. Didn't make it to the hospital before Angela passed. What a strange and small world. Certainly. I've made it clear, I hope, how much I value the contribution of you people. One thing, however, I must insist you stay out of the preparation room in respect for the families we serve here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare for a meeting with the bereaved.
Associate degree in funeral service education, 13 years after his wife's death. An old body bag. Something on this bag here? Nice catch. Though it's not unusual to find a body bag at a funeral home. Even one with blood on it. Probably shouldn't take the table itself. A keychain drive. Kind you plug into a computer USB port. Handy for transferring data or files between PCs. Reference numbers? For what? This page has special entries over the last decade. One was entered very recently. A compulsive personality will often track things, even if they're potentially incriminating. Not immediately illuminating, but worth collecting. Evidence seldom makes its meaning known on first glance. Mr. Kaufman didn't give us permission to go in there. Without a warrant, we can't.